Imagine a world where it is illegal to do anything that someone else thinks is offensive, where even your thoughts and beliefs are monitored by a higher power, judging whether it's acceptable. This world may soon be coming. If you believe in anything at all, anything, then what I'm about to say applies to you. What qualifies me to be able to speak on this today is that I've been a student of religious liberties for many years. And the purpose of this speech is to convey the importance of religious liberties to the freedom of our society. And today I want to persuade you to defend the very liberties that have been a part of this great country since its founding. So what does the term religious liberties mean? It's a sad trend in America, but when people either do not agree or understand something, we demonize it to try to make it go away. The same can be said with how religious liberty is being treated. Allow me to start by clarifying what it is and is not. It is not merely a political issue. It is a human rights issue. It is not merely a term used to justify discrimination and hatred. It is the freedom to hold true to what you believe. And the First Amendment states that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of a religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. When I say freedom to hold true to what you believe, I do not mean that this gives you the right to do whatever you please. Of course not. We all live in a land of laws. However, we are free to do and to abstain from anything that infringes on our beliefs, as long as it's within the law. So how is religious liberty being threatened? Exhibit A, ex-Atlanta Fire Chief, Kelvin Cochran. Mr. Cochran was fired from his job because of a Bible study he wrote on his free time. Why? Because in the Bible study contained a few pages discussing human sexuality, including homosexuality. He did not force or even ask the members of his fire station to be a part of the Bible study. He taught a Bible study using his book on his free time and was fired because of it. Exhibit B, Sweet Cakes Bakery by Aaron and Melissa Klein. The Kleins owned a bakery in Oregon. Patrons wanted them to bake a cake for a same-sex wedding, something that went against the Kleins' beliefs. The Kleins respectfully declined because it went against their beliefs. And before they knew it, they had a lawsuit, or they were being faced with a lawsuit. And they have since been forced to close their doors because of the outrageous fines put on them by the city and state. And there are countless other cases where people are beginning to be told how and where they can practice their beliefs. And religious liberties are not just important to the religious, they're important to all. Why? Because if it can happen in one group, it can happen in any group. And Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said it best. He said, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." So why should we care? Atlanta City Council member Alex Wan, who is one of the members investigating Mr. Cochran, the fire chief, gave an explanation for why he was fired. Quote, "I respect each individual's right to have their own thoughts, beliefs, and opinions. But when you're a city employee and those thoughts, beliefs, and opinions are different than the city's, you have to check them at the door." This is a very popular viewpoint in America. However, there is a flaw to this way of thinking. This view assumes that what the city believes is always good and wholesome. Does this apply to everybody, everywhere, at every point in history? Was it okay for Americans in the 1800s to own and abuse slaves? Was it okay for Germans in the 30s and 40s to kill over 6 million Jews? Is it okay for many countries in the Middle East to treat women like second-class citizens and have the right to kill homosexuals when caught in the act? I don't think so, and I hope you don't either. But following what Mr. Wan says, and others, if we were living back then or over there, then we better check our thoughts, beliefs, and opinions at the door and follow the crowd. In closing, The point of all this today was to try to convey to you the importance of religious liberties to the freedom of our society. I've told you all this today to try to persuade you to defend the liberties that have been passed down to us. What qualifies me to be able to speak on this today is that I've been studying this subject for years because it's very important to me personally. And there are a few things we can do to protect our religious liberties. Number one, we can stay informed with what's going on in our country concerning freedoms. Number two, we can vote for people who will defend every American's right to believe what they will. And three, we can pursue peace with all people, including those who oppose our beliefs, while still standing firm to what we believe. And I'd like to leave you with a quote from Nelson Mandela, who said, "For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others."